Miatta, I can't imagine many people thinking, well, I was going to vote Labour, but now Donald Trump's intervened, that's going to all change. What do you make
Yeah,
of it?
look, it was a sort of strange intervention by Donald Trump. And I think for the sort of constituent that the Labour Party will be targeting, Donald Trump saying that Jeremy Corbyn is a bad thing and endorsing other candidates, I think is a boost, quite frankly, to the campaign. I don't think it's going to deter the sorts of people that might vote for the Labour Party.
Miatta, how dangerous is the Brexit Party from the Labour perspective?
So I think in Labour Leave areas, there will be some nervousness about the Brexit Party because, they have a very, very clear, strong message about, leaving no matter what. And I think Labour have a more nuanced, let's say, position that essentially says, look, we'll try and negotiate a version of leaving that doesn't tank the economy, and then we will put it back to the British public. But I think the really interesting question will be when you look underneath the bonnet of Brexit. So, Farage, Boris Johnson, probably Joe Swinson probably want to try and make this general election just about Brexit. The Labour Party will be desperate to make it about anything but Brexit. They'll be desperate to make it about the big issues like the economy not working for everyone, issues like climate change, the housing crisis. And I think if they can succeed in that, and if they can start getting a conversation about the bigger questions, our NHS, public services on their knees, then that's quite an interesting proposition against the Brexit Party, because actually out with Brexit, it's not really clear what the Brexit Party stands for. And it's not really clear what their solutions are to trying to address the big issues that in the end voters care about. And in the end, Labour Leave voters, many communities that are under huge amounts of pressure, many communities that have been left behind need solutions to these bigger questions. And Brexit, it's a means to an end. It's not the solution. And it's not clear what it is that the Brexit Party is offering beyond Brexit.
And interesting, Mitter, I've just seen a tweet saying from Labour sources saying that they think about 30 to 40 seats could be benefit them by Brexit Party standing and taking votes away from the Conservatives.
Yeah, in some of the marginals that will be the case. In others, quite frankly, it will work the other way around, where the Brexit Party standing will essentially eat Labour votes and allow the Conservative Party to come down the middle. I think it's going to be really tight. And, I think it's a sort of interesting gamble that Farage has made. They know that Boris Johnson can't publicly accept this Leave alliance, something behind the scenes, very quiet perhaps, but not a kind of public alliance. And they're choosing...
It is theatre, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. He's getting on the airwaves, he's getting his message that, he doesn't think that this is the right version of Brexit, which, by the way, is hugely disingenuous because this version of Brexit is not the same as Theresa May's withdrawal agreement. It sets the path for a much harder form of Brexit in terms of things that have been taken out of the withdrawal agreement. So actually, if ever there was a version of Brexit, it is this. Unfortunately, it's a version that's also going to have huge economic consequences. But leaving that aside, I think it's actually quite a strange strategy for them to try and spread themselves so thinly. I think they would have been better off to sort of target certain seats where actually, playing the calculation around Labour marginals or Conservative margins, they may just have been able to kind of punch through and win a few seats. So I think it's a big gamble. I think it's a lot of theatre and it does the job of kind of ensuring that Brexit is on the agenda when on the other side, Labour yesterday were talking about other things like the NHS, the state of the economy, etc.